Cash-Free Payments and Money Control present Emerging Commerce Summit.
Let me formally welcome each one of you to Cash Free Payments and Money Control presents the Emerging Commerce Summit, the Surat chapter. I am Ridhima Bhatnagar and I am so thrilled to be joining each one of you this evening in this extremely vibrant city of Surat, which, as most of you would know, is often called the Diamond City and also a hub of textiles. But more importantly, it's also a hub of innovation and enterprises, which makes it the perfect setting for what we are here today. As Surat really embraces the digital age, it is also becoming a key player in India's e-commerce revolution, as I said, making it the apt and ideal backdrop for what we want to do today. You would all agree with me that in this fast evolving digital landscape, you have D2C brands, startups, and SMEs that are really transforming how consumers interact with their products and services, especially away from the non-metro cities. At the forefront of this change are emerging e-commerce businesses and even growth enablers such as apps and web development agencies. To further enable growth for businesses, Cashfree is also launching their affiliate program. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions, and if you do want to know more, the folks at Cashfree are right here and they'd love to answer all the questions that you have. But ladies and gentlemen, let's really get down to the brass tacks and let's really kickstart this lovely evening of ours together. For that, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Nitin Pulyani, the Head of Product and Senior Vice President, Cash Free Payments, to please join us on stage for a welcome address, please. And we can have a louder round of applause, Surat. We can do better. Nitin, please join us on stage. The floor is all yours.
I welcome everyone on behalf of the Cash Free Payments team. I grew up at a time where branded products from large MNCs were considered premium, were considered better quality products. But as I grew up, I understood that the process of manufacturing, entrepreneurship, business, and building good products, I understood all of that. And I realized that it is these policies and the entrepreneurial mindset and the psychology of people that is being a hindrance in building good quality products out of India. Over the past few years, I have worked with a lot of startups and tech companies, and I've started believing that if you put in good quality in your products using the current technology for distribution and marketing, you can build consumer trust and make great products available to Indians at a large scale and at affordable prices. Today, 75% of Indian population has access to mobile internet, and that's probably the largest in the world, and which was just 7.5% in 2010, which is massive growth in just 15 years. And today, 32% of Indian population is active on social media as well, with 1.1 billion mobile active users. With these trends and more entrepreneurs coming from India, we have large number of high quality products accessible to all Indians. And entrepreneurs and partners who are our growth catalysts, like you, esteemed guests, can now start a business in any city in India and cater to large Indian population and are able to compete with global brands. Gujarat has always been known as the business capital of India. And Surat now has more than 200 homegrown D2C brands and e-commerce companies. And we want to partner together to make these brands reach pan-India and work with them to build competitive products to compete with global brands. The D2C market, surprisingly, is set to grow 5x, 5 times in the next 5 years. And cities like Surat are expected to double the order volume growth year on year over the next few years. We at Cash Free Payments understand that what this growth means for us and for our partners, and that now more than ever, D2C brands must master the customer journey and solve the challenges of not just payments, but also marketing and fulfillment. Many sellers see initial successes on popular marketplaces, but are now growing their own D2C and B2B channels. And helping them in this growth is the objective of our products that we are building at Cash Free Payments. To help all businesses achieve this growth, we want to reach out to as many of them as possible. This is where we recognize the importance of our partners in the ecosystem who work with D2C brands closely. Our focus on delivering great customer experience is seen in faster onboarding for both our partners and merchants, industry best success rates in our payments, industry best partner compensation and support, and innovative products for commerce. And this is all part of our affiliate partner program that we are exclusively unveiling for you later today. We believe together we can help India compete with global brands, and with this, I welcome all of you together.
But ladies and gentlemen, let's really get the conversation going. We're going to now shift gears and delve deeper into try and understand what are the customer preferences, how do you make their experience more seamless. We're going to kickstart this evening with a panel discussion that has been aptly titled Driving Conversions in the Digital Commerce Era, a topic, as I said earlier, far more relevant today than ever in today's fast-paced digital landscape. Let's start by welcoming Riju Datta, co-founder of Cashfree Payments, to please join us on stage. Riju, thank you for joining us. Good to have you with us. Let's also welcome Bharat Tibrewal, the co-founder of Bebe Burp, who's really redefining baby food with organic, wholesome, and convenient choices. Good to have you with us. Let's welcome the lady on the panel, Anushri Malu, co-founder Nutshop, the innovative brand that is really changing the game as far as grooming for men is concerned, with honesty, but I should also say some great humor as well. Let's also welcome Pradeep Bardrecha, CEO of WeThink Solution, a leading IT service provider specializing in websites, apps, e-commerce, and digital marketing. Good to have you with us. And finally, completing the panel, we have Palak Madhwani, CEO and co-founder of Monkey Ads and Studios, who are really helping brands drive impactful conversations through creative and strategic advertising solutions. So good to have a full house. Ladies and gentlemen, before we kickstart, I think we can have a huge round of applause as we welcome our stellar panel. Lovely. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll try and keep this as tight as possible, but we'll also try and address the big questions that would have a lot of understanding and perspective from a consumer perspective. But before we really get down to understanding what each of you are doing and what is the kind of steps that you've taken, if I could just request all the panelists to take about 30 seconds and just introduce yourselves to the audience so that they have a better understanding of what you're doing from an organization perspective. Anushri, would you want to go first?
Hello, good evening everybody. My name is Anushri. I'm a co-founder of Nutjob. Nutjob is a male intimate hygiene brand. We cater to male intimate hygiene and grooming. Now we have entered to a new segment for skincare because we see a booming category where male now want to try their own products for grooming. If we go back 5 years, they were into beard grooming and now they want to get into skincare grooming also. They want to work for their under eye, or now there is a awareness why intimate hygiene is so important, and there are big brands coming in and catering to this category. And when we started, it was a taboo topic. People really didn't want to talk about the brand, the category, but I see a vast difference now. There's a awareness, there is a education, and now I think people are not ashamed of using a product like this for their own intimate hygiene.
Very interesting. I will get chatting with you about the social taboo and how you've seen that market grow. But Bharat, would you also want to just tell what you're doing with baby food and how that audience has grown?
Definitely. So good evening everyone. Myself Bharat Tibrewal. I'm the co-founder at Baby Burp. So we made tasty, healthy and organic baby food. So our mission has always been to make kids' life healthy. And we know that nowadays the parents are very busy in their lifestyle. Most of them are working, and preparing baby food at home is very time consuming, and more the consistency in baby food cannot be maintained at home. So we find this gap and we started with Baby Burp, where healthy eating is born for kids. And so we cater kids from the age of 6 months right from 8 to 10 years of age group. Okay. And we provide them with breakfast, meal, lunchtime, meal, snacks and everything. So we believe that if the kids are getting proper nutrition, they are the backbone of the country, and the coming generation, they have to be healthy. And moreover, अभी आप ऐसा देखोगे तो अभी की जो generation है जो वो खाना खा रही है, पहले के पेरेंट्स 6-6 7-7 बच्चे आराम से बड़े कर लेते थे और उनको कोई इशू नहीं होता था, और अभी 1-2 बच्चे में ही पेरेंट्स को हो जाता है कि इनको क्या खिलाएं। मतलब मदरहुड इज़ अ वेरी चैलेंजिंग थिंग अभी, तो वी आर सॉल्विंग दिस प्रॉब्लम, सो थैंक यू सो मच।
Okay. Riju, would you want to talk to us about what you're trying to solve?
Yeah, hi, I'm Riju. I'm one of the founders of Cashfree. So we are an online payment aggregator. What that means is we help businesses, both small and large, right from a freelancer to large public companies, sell online, collect payments on their website. And we work with around 600,000 businesses across India and process around $80 billion annually right now. Yeah, and I think the journey, and I mean, I think we can talk more about how payments have been evolving. We keep hearing about Digital India. You might have seen us on Shark Tank also. So yeah, happy to contribute to the discussion as you go ahead.
Lovely. Can I request all the moderators keep the mic a little closer to them while speaking, because I'm not sure if everybody can hear. Well, Prateek, would you also want to tell us what you're doing?
Yeah, good evening, friends. Myself, Prateek Bagrecha, and I am the owner at Withing Solution. So we are into the websites and mobile application development, and especially we focused on the commerce development. So the topic is very well suitable to us. Okay. So what we do think is we believe that innovation, then adaptability and empathy are the key to transform your digital commerce. So what I suggest is Surat is a booming market, or whatever we take. We need to grow more and more digitally, okay, in the commerce field, and we help to make their checkout process more easy by developing the custom solutions. So we are here to discuss on this topic, and I am very happy to discuss it with you. Thank you.
Lovely. Palak, not last, not least, but would you also want to tell us what you're doing?
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम है पलक माधवानी और मेरी कंपनी का नाम है मंकी एड्स एंड स्टूडियोज। सो वी आर अ वीडियो फर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग एजेंसी। इसका अर्थ ये होता है कि हम आपकी ब्रांड के लिए खाना बनाते हैं, दैट इज कंटेंट क्रिएशन, और खाना परोसते हैं, दैट इज रीचिंग द राइट ऑडियंस विद योर कंटेंट। सो दैट्स व्हाट वी डू, एंड स्टॉक मार्केट से ज़्यादा रिटर्न्स लाते हैं हमारे काम से। सो अगर आप लोग को भी स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करने की जगह अपने खुद के बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करके ग्रो करना है, चूज मंकी एड्स, करो मन की, मारो छलांग। थैंक यू।
Very subtle pitch there, but I loved it. Khana banate. I'll get to talking to you about the kind of content and strategies vis-a-vis every platform. But good. So I think everybody now has a clear idea of what every panelist is doing. I heard it once from a very famous entrepreneur who said that until and unless each startup founder doesn't know the problem that they're solving, then they don't know why they're in the market, right? And I want to begin with both of you because I think there is a niche that both of you are catering to. Let me begin with you, Bharat, right? I want to try and understand, when you talk about baby food, right? There has been a big traditional understanding of baby food, of how me and you have been raised. Nobody really went online or shopping looking for anything specific other than a food powder and nothing more than that, right? So this is really a niche. Before I even begin understanding how you're reaching to the customers and what are the kind of numbers that you're clocking, what was the idea behind starting? What is the kind of gap that you saw in the market where you thought that this is where we should be able to get some traction going?
So the Baby Bub started with our own problem. So when I was blessed with a baby boy, my wife started searching for baby food that are available in the market. And so वहाँ पे वही सेरेलैक, नेस्ले अवेलेबल था। उस टाइम पे उसे था कि नहीं, मुझे ये नहीं देना है, कुछ और ब्रांड ट्राई करते हैं, पर कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। देन उसने अपनी दादी नानी से पूछना शुरू किया कि भाई आप लोग तो इतने बच्चों को पाल लेते थे, आप लोग ऐसा क्या खिलाते थे कि अभी भी बच्चे हेल्दी हैं, मतलब और कुछ इशू भी नहीं होता उनको, हेल्थ इशू भी नहीं है कोई। तो उन्होंने कुछ ट्रेडिशनल रेसिपीज़ बताई कि हम लोग दाल को रोस्ट करके उसको बना के रख लेते थे, और तो उसने वैसे ट्राई किया बनाना। फिर हम लोग फ्रेंड्स में सब सेम एज ग्रुप के थे, तो हमने अपने फ्रेंड्स को ट्राई कराना शुरू कराया। इवेंचुअली वी रियलाइज कि यार बेबी फूड की रिक्वायरमेंट है, लोग नेस्ले सेरेलेक्स से अलग कुछ ढूंढ रहे हैं, पर लोगों को ब्रांड नहीं मिल रहा। द ब्रांड्स दैट आर अवेलेबल अपार्ट फ्रॉम नेस्ले इज द इम्पोर्टेड ब्रांड्स, जो इम्पोर्ट होते थे जिसपे कोई एक्सपायरी डेट नहीं होता, उसका खुदा गवाह बोलते हैं जिसको, कि खुद उसी को पता है कि वो प्रोडक्ट कब का है। सो हम लोग ने वो सोचा, और हम लोगों को ये गैप आइडेंटिफाई हुआ कि अगर बीइंग अ मदर इन सूरत, जहाँ पे इतनी एक्सेसिबिलिटी है चीज़ों को लेके, वहाँ पे भी उन लोगों को हमको प्रोडक्ट नहीं मिल रहा, तो ये तो बहुत जनरलाइज लेवल पर एक प्रॉब्लम है कि लोगों के पास ऑप्शन नहीं है। उस टाइम पे 1-2 स्टार्टअप थे जो ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे थे, पर इतने प्रोमिनेंट नहीं थे। सो वी स्टार्टेड कि नहीं यार, ये अच्छा स्पेस है जहाँ पर एक प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व हो रहा है एंड यहाँ पर एक गैप है कि जहाँ पे हम इस बिजनेस को बहुत बड़ा कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज ओवरऑल अ बेबी कैटेगरी इज नॉट अ प्राइस सेंसिटिव कैटेगरी, इज अ वेरी एस्पिरेशनल कैटेगरी की कोई भी पेरेंट्स अपने बच्चे के ऊपर इन्वेस्ट करेगा, स्पेंड कर सकता है, पर वो क्वालिटी में कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करता. तो द बेसिक आइडिया वॉज कि अच्छे से अच्छा न्यूट्रिशन हमें कैसे देना है, वी कैन प्रोवाइड ऑन वॉट फैक्टर वी शुड कंसिडर. देन वी स्टार्टेड विद बेबी बब की नहीं ये सही है, ये सेगमेंट सही है, ये प्रॉब्लम जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम है और इसको हम लोग सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. So we started with baby bub.
So just taking on from what you're saying, Bharat, you said that you saw a gap in the market where you
Yes.
realized that this is, and maybe this is even more relevant for working mothers
Yeah.
or parents, both parents are working, they don't have an extended
Yes.
family to take care of the child. But what you said is also very interesting, which is this is not just about a brand trying to get numbers. This is also a parent entrusting you with the responsibility
Right.
of ensuring there is trust,
Right,
right?
right.
So how did you ensure from a brand perspective that yes, you get your ingredients right, you get your story right, but you also ensure that that trust is translated from a parent when they're ensuring you with that responsibility?
So there are various factors that we take into consideration. First of all, we have taken every certification that is possible. So like FSSAI, US FDA, APEDA, GMP, we have every ISO certification. So we always post every certification that we have on the product and on the website to give the authenticity about the brand, ki what is Baby Bub, why we are authentic to you. Then we do a very regular lab reports of our product, and we always post our lab reports to the public on the website. You can check right now also कि our lab reports are on the website, कि you can check कि वहाँ पर क्या है, हम लोग क्या बना रहे हैं, हम लोग क्या डाल रहे हैं. We source our raw material from one of the best vendors in the Indian market. We source from one of the great vendors like 24 Mantra, Organic Tattva, and trust के लिए we have a pediatric in our team, we have nutritionist in our team, and all our products are developed with the help of food technologists. So my cousin brother is a food technologist in Baba Atomic Research Center, so all our products have been developed with him.
Okay.
So on the certification side, we do various things.
Okay.
कि एक authenticity हो, then we provide our customer with the manufacturing video, that how we manufacture and the hygiene that we take care by manufacturing the product.
Sure.
And on the customer side, we are very reachable, very approachable to the customer. We have a
Okay.
very strong customer care support, and eventually we have also created a community, a moms community, where any mom can join the community, any parents can join the community, and
Yeah.
in that community there are pediatric nutritionists. They can have a free one-on-one consultation. So it gives a trust to customers. Even they are not our customer, even they are willing just to join the community to take the benefit of the community, we are very more than happy to join. So in our community, 70% of the mothers are not our customers, then also they are in our community and taking the benefit of our community. Because we know that kabhi na kabhi to wo hamare customer ban hi jayenge. So these are the few things that we take into consideration while building trust, and why Baby Bub is a very clean label brand.
Sure. Okay, that's very good to hear, and it's also good to see the kind of initiative that startups today are taking, going beyond just launching that brand. And Anushya, you have something very similar, which is another niche, which is men's grooming, right? Let's rewind or flash back to about 5 to 7 years. This was completely unheard of, and more importantly, people would actually mock it, saying, "Are you sure this is scalable? Are you sure you can get business?" But maybe post-pandemic things have completely changed. So I want to try and understand, where did you see the gap? How many years back would you say you started seeing a gap, or in the sense you started seeing more awareness of men saying that, hey, we also want to look good, and this is something that is not a luxury anymore, it's probably just convenience and a necessity?
I think, as you asked, that the market gap was right there since ages, because we have seen minimum 10 men scratching their balls in public place. So the problem was right there. It was just somebody to identify and to cater to a segment like that. And why it is a taboo? Because it was not a masculine thing back then, because they thought, why do we need a product like this? But as we researched, males have more sweat glands down there in compared to females, and that is why they sweat a lot. And the problem we have seen in our own family during COVID time, where I and Ananya saw our fathers using so much of talcum powder to keep their intimates dry. And this was the problem we discussed in family, and our fathers have been a great support that they never feel embarrassed to talk about a problem like this. They made us research that why, and they are the one who pushed us. Okay, do you want to start a business like this? Go ahead, we are there. So I think a female entrepreneur, I think it took two girls to come out and start a brand for males. And now we are getting into grooming segment because now we feel male are wanting to try new products and they don't want to use those female products available in the market. They want their own category. They want their own packaging that has to look attractive to them, and they don't want to feel embarrassed that I'm using a female brand, because we have also seen a difference in advertising, if you say, because all the female brands, if you see, all the females have been educated that there's a flaw in your skin or hair, and that is why you need a product like this. And in compared to male ads, if you see, there's always, if you use a product like this, you will attract females, you will be a macho man or however. So this is how the education, this is how the thought process of consumer in compared to females and male behave, because you need to get them this trust that this is a product which is catering to your masculinity, and you feel good about it, and not females, because they always feel that they are flawed somewhere. They need a product to look good, pretty or however. So this was the problem, and this is how we thought of getting into this category. And we started with 3 products, and now we are a basket of 25 products catering to male intimate hygiene and grooming. And now, as I said, we launched skincare, and I'm happy to see that males are welcomed here, and they are more into that side, that they want to try a product like this. And this thing is changing, that I am using my mother's product, or my wife is getting something for me. There's a male opinion now that I want this product for myself. Yeah. So you will see a drastic change in male shopping and grooming now.
Yeah. So Anushri, what you said is very interesting. Of course, having family support to start something like this is great, right? Not many would be lucky in that or have that position. But the other aspect also is, and you said this yourself, right? When you scanned the market, there were hardly any options there, right? So there wasn't any comparison for you to say, this is something that they've done, we can copy and maybe innovate on that. So what is the kind of market research that you did to try and understand what are these products that you would want to begin with? Because you said you started with 3 and you scaled up to 25. So I just want to understand quickly, what is the kind of market research that you did, and what are the trends that you picked up to try and understand that there is an option to scale there?
Okay, when we started this brand, there were brands already in the market which were catering to intimate wash only, but those were not specific for males. For example, if I talk for a brand like P-Safe, so P-Safe was started for females. They were doing that toilet seat spray, and then they got into male intimate wipes and wash and everything. But Nutjob is specifically catering to male intimate hygiene only. We don't have any diversification. Our first day plan was only to cater to specific category. We didn't go for shampoo, we didn't go for body wash, we didn't go for that. Now we are grooming, because now people recognize a brand, they trust a brand like Nutjob, and now they want to try new products. And talking about getting into new products was somewhere our existing customers telling us that, don't you have a product like this? Don't you have a product like this? And that is how we came for, we got the idea, oh, we need to develop a product like this also. We need to get into this segment also. So most of our products are based and made on feedbacks which we got from our old customers, that they are looking, and keywords are working great, because there are people who are searching for products like this. And they don't go and ask in a store, a pharmacy store, they won't go and ask for a product like this, but they will search for a product like this on Google, on Amazon, to solve their problem.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Good to hear that. To the gentleman this side who've been patiently waiting, Palak, let me start with you. What you said when you introduced what you're trying to do, you said हम खाना बनाते हैं, या आप खाना बनवा सकते हैं, whichever way you would want to choose it. But जो खाना बना रहे हैं, the brands, they might have a great intent, they might have a great story. But to scale that up, you need a very niche, a very curated strategy vis-a-vis every platform that we're catering to, right? And we'll understand this because most of us spend our time online, right? Whether we are surfing content or whether we are buying stuff. Even from a customer perspective, when I'm buying, there will be certain brands that I would like following on Instagram. There will be certain brands that I would like following their story on other platforms. So from a brand perspective, I want to understand, how do you tailor those strategies, right? Because today, one, the customer is spoiled for choice, which also means it's highly competitive. Of course, you have the big elephant in the room, which is AI. So how do you tailor those strategies vis-a-vis these platforms?
So the question about understanding consumer behavior, I think Anushri ji and Bharat bhai have explained their problem जिनकी वजह से उन्होंने अपना ये business start किया. तो उन्होंने अपने consumer behavior को बहुत अच्छे से समझा है. उसी को समझ के आपका ये platform wise solution या content पे बात करना चाहिए. जो खाना बनाने की बात है, यानी कौन से platform पे कौन से type का content जाना चाहिए. In short, if we talk about it, तो अगर हम Instagram के बारे में बात करें, तो it should be more about what. मतलब क्या करते हो आप, क्या है आपका बिजनेस. दैट्स व्हाट इंस्टाग्राम इज वेरी स्ट्रांग, बिकॉज टॉप ऑफ द फनल कंटेंट जो है वो इंस्टाग्राम पे ज़्यादा क्लिक करता है, बिकॉज पीपल आर देयर फॉर इंफोटेनमेंट, एंटरटेनमेंट, दे आर नॉट स्पेसिफिकली फॉर अ सर्टन प्रोडक्ट, बट वहाँ से आप उनको खींच के ले जा सकते हो. यूट्यूब की अगर हम बात करें तो इट इज़ मोर अबाउट दी हाउ, कि आप यूट्यूब पे आप बता सकते हो कि आप क्या करते हो, यू नो हाउ यू आर सॉल्विंग दैट प्रॉब्लम. एंड अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक अगर मैं लिंक्डइन के आई इफ टेक दिस फॉरवर्ड, तो आपने वो हाउ कैसे करके खत्म कर दिया वो आप लिंक्डइन पे बता सकते हो, मोर ऑफ द सक्सेस स्टोरीज. सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन प्रायोरिटाइज इंस्टाग्राम वर्सेस यूट्यूब वर्सेस लिंक्डइन. और बट शुरुआत अगर आप कर रहे हैं, बड़ी ब्रांड्स हैं जो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही हैं, they have the bandwidth, they have disposable income for marketing where they can have content separated for each platform. तो ये ज़रूर करना चाहिए. अगर आप शुरुआत कर रहे हैं तो ज़्यादा एनालिसिस पैरालिसिस में नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. मैं बहुत प्रैक्टिकल बात करता हूँ. शुरुआत करिए प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे साथ, आप जो चीज़ चल रही है आप उसको स्केल करिए, जो चीज़ नहीं चल रही है उसको मॉडिफाई करके इफ़ रिक्वायर्ड उसको स्टॉप करिए. अब बात करते हैं AI, एलिफेंट इन द रूम. AI की बात करते हैं तो AI इज़ वेरी वेरी important for all of us. AI will reduce the time which we used to take in creating content. पहले जो टाइम लगता था कंटेंट बनाने में, वो AI की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा कम हो गया है. पिछले 2 साल से we have used AI एंड उसमें हम लोगों ने राइट फ्रॉम राइटिंग स्क्रिप्ट्स टू क्रिएटिंग इमेजेस, थोड़ा वीडियो कंटेंट भी उसमें हमने AI से किया है, एंड क्रिएटिंग म्यूजिक फॉर कंटेंट. सो एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ कंटेंट, वॉइस ओवर्स, कैप्शंस, मतलब AI से आपका ये सारा जो प्रॉब्लम है, जो मैन्युअली करने में टाइम ज़्यादा लगता था, वो AI आपका बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम बचा रहा है. Plus, it is democratizing content creation, so it will help a lot of more people to create content.
Pratik, let me bring you in the conversation, right? One part, of course, as I said, is the brand story, right? You need to have your intent, you need to identify that gap hole. But the other then is scalability, right? At the end of the day, everybody is looking at revenue, everybody is looking at numbers. Let's begin from an SME perspective, right? From an SME perspective, you might have the greatest idea on paper, you might have the great intent, but at the end of the day, how do you get those numbers, right? Because when you're starting off, not everybody comes with a lot of budget, right? People have put everything they have together, friends, family, everybody. So if you have limited budget, but you also want to start thinking of scalability, what are the kind of strategies or top 3 tips that you would have for SMEs?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question, because nowadays there are many startups are coming, and I would say many are running with a financial budget tight line. Okay, so I would suggest something, in order to lower or reduce the budget and increase your sales, you should follow some practices. Okay, in India, we would say that most of the users are mobile friendly. Okay, 70% of users are doing the purchase via the mobile devices. So what we can suggest is, you make your, whatever the portal you develop, wherever you are selling, make it very neat and clean and very easy to check out. So that what happens is your sales will definitely get increased. So you have to spend little more on the checkout part, your whatever the portal you have developed, but the sales will get increased at that time. Now, as you have developed some portal, correct? So what happen is you take many of the subscription. So the overhead cost get high. So better you go for some free tools rather than spending money over the paid tools. Okay, like many tools are Google Analytics, you use that, MailChimp, free email services, Canva for the graphics. So in that way, you can save the money over there. Then what you should do, you should collaborate. For example, we can take their example, they are having a baby product, some is into the photography, correct? So when you are into the business, you collaborate with the influencer, you tie up with other category person, so that whatever the work or whatever the branding you have to do, you will get saved, because both of the person are getting the visibility, but they are not getting charged. So in that way, you can save your cost over there. And what else you can do is, what you are doing is, like you said, you are spending the money everywhere, you are involving everybody. Better you niche the target, you target what kind of people, what is the area where you get the most active users. So based on that, you have to focus that area and you get the more conversions. So if you follow this some practices, you will reduce the cost like 30 to 40% and you get the sales. And most important thing, what is nowadays the customer services take most of our efforts. So customer services, like we need to give them, we need to cater more services, best support, and that require more human effort. So what will happen is you implement the chatbot or something, so that most of the queries get resolved by the chatbots. And yeah, so that will help you to grow your business and reduce the cost.
Okay, lovely. I think these are very handy tips and tricks for people either looking to get into the market or people who are already there and looking to scale up. But Riju, now let's talk from a customer consumer perspective, right? We've spoken about how brands want to ensure they reach the right target, the right customer, but for customers today, they're spoiled for choice, right? So how do you stand out, right, from a brand perspective? Usually, say when I'm talking from a customer perspective, I have chosen the 5 things that I want, I've put them in my cart and basket. But if my payment model, the last checkout stage, is cumbersome, I will leave that app and look for another website, even if I have to pay a little extra, right? So how are you making that experience seamless as far as the consumer is concerned? Because it's really those last few seconds from a consumer perspective that will either make that conversion or let them not make that conversion, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, I think running a business is hard, right? I mean, I was just talking to Anushri, right? And you have to kind of like build the product, which has to be of good quality, and then you have to work on marketing, right? And make sure there is enough traffic on your website. You have to work on your logistics, right? And at the end of it, you don't want to then, lose the order, to payments, or you definitely want payments to not be an additional headache. You want the customer to convert, if they have an intent to buy. Right, and you want to have your checkout rates as high as you can, right, like 80-95%, right? So yeah, I mean, the idea is for us as a payments company to ensure your checkouts are maximized, right? Make buying easier for the customer. It is also to make selling easier for the merchant, but we'll maybe cover that separately. But yeah, when it comes to maximizing the checkout, I mean, the idea is, are we able to predict and show the preferred payment mode to the customer, right? Maybe if it's a high order value, you show a particular method, like say credit card, right? Even though the customer might be paying on UPI, on their regular Swiggy Zomato order, right? Again, if it's a high ticket size order, do we give them an affordability or a financing option, right? Can we give them an option that allows them to break the payment into 3 parts, right? And pay like in installments, right? A wow moment personally for me is when, let's say, you're paying, and I think the worst part is when you have to fill in your address, right? Which is a really long process, and that's where I think a lot of the drops happen. So yeah, can I predict the address based on the shopping behavior of the customer, right? Can I fill the address for the customer? Can we enable the merchant to show the right offers at the right time, right? So that the customer is converting. Right. So these are some of the things. In addition to that, let's assume the customer is someone that is not genuine, right? Can we flag that to the merchant so that they don't end up, either with a fraudulent customer that leads to a refund or a chargeback, or I think you have pretty high refund rates when it comes to cash on delivery orders, right? So can we predict that? So yeah, these are some of the things that I think make the buying decision easy for the customer, and also the selling easier for the merchant. So maybe I'll quickly touch upon, what makes selling easier for the merchant as well. I think you can start with, can I offer payment methods very quickly? Can I get started very quickly, right? So for us, like when you decide to sell, I think you can, make your first payment within the first 10 minutes, right? I think 65% of our merchants can make their first payment, are eligible to make their first payment instantly. In the last year, I think the fastest we saw was around 7 to 8 minutes, right? And like I think 90 percentile or I think 80 percentile is 1 day, right? So in 1 day, I think 80% of the merchants that sign up are ready to go live. So that is some of the things, and we make sure that let's say you have accessibility in terms of international payment methods, EMI options, financing options are available on day one as soon as possible, right? So those are some of the things that make selling easy. But yeah, sticking to the point of customer experience, the idea is to make sure your checkouts convert and are fast, right? And that's what we try to do. Yeah.
So Riju's covered quite a bit, but I will try and break them part by part. But Riju, because you touched upon this is a very crucial aspect, right? It's not just the experience of making it seamless, but you have to build trust as well. At the end of the day, it's hard-earned money that the customer is interesting on your platform, right? We're living in a digital era, but we're also living in a digital fraud era as well, right? Where we're seeing digital frauds increase almost every day. So how are you ensuring that amalgamation happens, right? You're building a seamless process, yes, but you're also building it with trust and confidence.
So I think the how of it is down to, I mean, we do it at the back end. We have engineers who kind of work on extensive use of AI, machine learning, understanding how frauds happen. And that's part and parcel of being a regulated entity. I think payments are now a regulated activity. I think we are one of the first players to get the license. So it's kind of a complexity that I think we keep to ourselves, and we ensure that merchants don't have to think about payments and payments fraud. So we cover the risk, and I think we have the stamp of approval of the regulator. And to go into the details, I'm happy to do that. And it's a bunch of very extensive blacklists and studying patterns and using AI and ML, which has the advancements which we have seen in the past, right? So I think, so that's in a
this is
nutshell.
important. Can you be a little slow? थोड़ा आसान भाषा में समझा सकते हैं हम सबको?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I think it's about अगर like the सबसे simple है, जैसे blacklist is essentially अगर मानिए किसी ने अपना phone number ऐसा है कि नया phone number है, right? Recently purchased SIM है. It's a SIM जो blacklist हुआ है. It's a SIM जो कभी पुलिस में report हुआ है, right? So it's a UPI handle जिसने बहुत सारे refunds करे हैं, बहुत सारे chargebacks करे हैं, right? Yeah, blacklisted hai, right? It's reported for some law enforcement agencies, right? So we have access to these databases, UPI databases across various sources, right? So iske alawa, if someone is, let's say, placing orders from the same seller multiple times, right? So those are patterns jo hum identify karte hain using machine learning. So that gives us, so we are able to flag the transactions, right? So, yeah,
this is very, very important. And the other thing which, I allow me, Ridhima ji.
Please.
It's very important. The purpose of coming cash free, इतना सब खर्चा करके आया वो करने के लिए. So आपका जो ये immediate onboarding है, all the IT ecosystem यहाँ पे, and even I am looking for that. वो चीज़ आपने जो बताई, उसको आप first offline मुझे बताइएगा कि immediate onboarding जो आप दे रहे हैं. That's something which we are I am personally very.
Yeah, I can. मैं double click कर लेता हूँ इस पे. Actually, I would like to say that so it is compliant and it is fast. I think it is usually thought कि अगर आप compliant हो तो आपको बहुत सारा KYC करना पड़ेगा, and you lose time in that. But I think we are a regulated entity. We have been audited by the RBI, and we are I think the only payment aggregator that can onboard instantly. 65% of the time. बाकी 15 is 1 day, and बाकी 20 हम onboard करते नहीं है, like their accounts we reject. So when we want to onboard, we onboard within a day, right? So yeah, that's the thing.
Can I quickly ask, because you said that about 15%, right, that you reject? So
20, yeah.
20%,
Yeah.
okay. Quick parameters base the rejection, because that's also important to understand what leads to these rejections.
Yeah, like we evaluate the businesses, like if we feel it's not a genuine business, right? Because people also want to sign up into the payment ecosystem for things that, like let's say banned, products and categories that we are not comfortable with, risks of money laundering and so on, right? So yeah, those reasons.
Okay. I will come back. There's a lot to deep dive here, but I'm going to try and do a shuttle of understanding the brand story and then try and understand strategies of scaling up, mistakes and learnings again. But I want to go back to Anushri, right? When we were speaking about starting a brand, trying to identify that problem, there is also a problem of plenty, right? Which means it's not just the product that the brand is offering, it's also the story that the brand is offering, right? And right from the word go, your name and your humor and your story is very, very interesting, right? Nut job. I mean, who would think of naming their brand, right? It usually has a very negative or a very dark connotation to it, right? So I want to understand again from a brand perspective, how did that idea of integrating, I would say, dark humor with your brand strategy come in, and how have you seen that play out from a consumer perspective?
Okay, so talking about the name, as you said, Nutjob, why? Because this brand wants to do something crazy. So Nutjob also means that you're doing something crazy. Also, if you go back and see on our website or the logo, there are two U's which are testicles up and down. So this is how we have signified the name Nutjob. Plus, nuts as a slang for balls. So there are so many things behind the name. And as we appeared on Shark Tank India, Aman also said that ye naam se to aap kuch bhi bech doge. So I think the brand name is working in our favor. And the story, again, it's the trust we have built, we have gained of our customers and our new customers, that a platform like Shark Tank India has given a recognition for us, a brand like this, and created a awareness and a huge market opportunity also, that where people were looking for a product like this, but they didn't know that whether this product or this problem solving product is there in the market or not. And seeing that now people are searching and going offline, online, and want to try a product, because I think as a brand, I say there's no brand loyalty now, because people want to use multiple products. There is no brand loyalty now, which was 5 years or 10 years back.
Many would say that's quite controversial to say. Why would
It
you
is,
say that?
but why? Because there are so many brands available for same product. You know, you want to use for this. So, for example, there are now Korean beauty products also coming in Indian market. So now you have heard that Korean beauty is so big that, you know, they have a different kind of skin. So you are now towards inclined to use that, and maybe you don't want to use Ayurveda now.
Okay.
So it is the switch that consumers are making now. And even I would say I will have for, let's say it's winter, so you have a moisturizer cream, but I'm sure you will using multiple brands.
Yeah.
Even it's a face cream, I'm sure you would have 2 or 3 brands in your own bathrooms or in your own this toiletry.
Sure.
So this is how the brand switch is happening in consumers. But to hold, as our panel discussion,
Yeah.
to hold, it's what the consumer is getting. The service, how quick he's getting the product, and they are very eager to use a product. It's the behavior that I have ordered today. The customer is so anxious that when I am getting the product, I want
Sure.
to use it the very next day.
Yeah.
Because they saw some ad, they saw some content, they saw some influencer talking about the product, and they are very keen to use a product. So, you have
Which
to
also increases the pressure multiple times from a brand perspective,
Yes.
right? You've obviously said a couple of things here. One, you're saying a customer is spoiled for choice, right? Which also means there is insane amounts of competition from a brand perspective. And third is, of course, the delivery timelines, right? And why, you know, you cannot really pinpoint anyone, because today all of us want everything instantly, right? If I've ordered it, can I get it in the next 10 hours? Can I get it in the next 12 hours? You're absolutely right. I'll come back to you, Anushri. Pratik, I want to come to you, just taking on from what we heard from the brand perspective, right? And this is, something that we were discussing earlier as well. You might have the best promotion on your website. You might give the delivery timelines, but checkout abandonment is still a very, very real aspect that every brand, founder, organization has to deal with, right? Especially when there are multiple sales going on, there are multiple discounts everywhere. That checkout abandonment is a reality, and that makes or breaks the numbers that you're looking at, right? How does one tackle that?
Yeah. So the most painful part is the checkout abandonment, correct? So definitely we work with the client to figure out this solution. So your checkout screen should be very neat and clean. Neat and clean intuitive means it should not distract the customer during the checkout. correct? So if you distract during the checkout, then customer may abandon the cart, correct? Fine. So make it very neat and clean, and that should not keep any hidden cost. So that will make the customer to feel more trustworthy. Another thing is when there is a peak season, something like Diwali or offers going on, like you said, correct? So keep your server or the where you have hosted your website or something, keep it scalable, correct? So you don't have to spend money like that every time. Whenever there is a peak season, it will get auto scale. You can use some Google service or Amazon service, whatever you want. And what you do, it get automatic scale, correct? And then in the checkout process, I would say it's a heart. Okay, in the digital commerce world, checkout is the heart of that. So when you suppose if customer has done the complete checkout, so it doesn't mean it's the end of journey. You have to. It's the first impression. It's the final impression giving to the customer. So in the checkout part, you also implement like one-click checkout that will make that it can easily. Suppose I go to a store. Like take an example. I go to a store and if I want one product. So, and if I have to follow so many processes and take the product, then that does not work. That will get abandoned. But if I put a one-click checkout, just check out, I will get the payment gateway part and I make the payment. So that becomes very easy and so customer feel, yeah, this is very fast process and he will again retain. This will get retained. The customer will come again to use that portal. Then again, what will happen is somebody wants to check out and most of the are mobile user, and if you don't fit that design to the mobile suitable, what will happen is customer may lose the interest. So you make the design and UI such that it fits to any mobile design. So there are the many factors where the abandon get reduced. And yeah, you keep the use of email automation. So if somebody has checkout, you send the reminder to them that you have this product in your cart and you make the payment.
Go back a couple of years ago, we could have cash on delivery. That was great for us. We had UPI transactions. That was great for us, right? But how do we go from here on? How do we evolve? Buy now, pay later. Talk to me about some trends that you see dominating the checkout and the payment process as far as a consumer is concerned.
Yeah, I think in terms of checkout, I think we have seen a massive shift. I think the payment, earlier it was the customer doing all the hard work. पहले customer सब कुछ fill करता था, पहले अपना email, phone number, address, pin code सब कुछ डालता था और last में उसको पता लगता था pin code is not serviceable. तो अभी वो सब चले गया, आप सिर्फ फ़ोन नंबर डालोगे and then you will everything is pre-filled. So आपको बस फ़ोन नंबर या इंटेंट बहुत कम दिखाना है और सब कुछ आपको आपका पेमेंट मोड भी खुद ही सिलेक्ट हो जाएगा. So that is the big thing I think which helps in conversions and you know takes your customer much closer to the conversion, right? And that is what has replaced, I think, or is going to replace, right? And then one-click checkout, I think, is a really big disruption that you have seen in e-commerce that has come in.
Lovely. So I am running out of time, so I'm going to try and wrap this now. But I would like to go, once again with all our panelists, and Anushri, I'd like to begin with you. I asked him this, we touched upon this, which is the kind of trends that we're anticipating now, right? There is competition, there is more demand, there is also a very smart consumer that is also thinking aloud and seeing what better, best they can get vis-a-vis every brand option available. So what are some of the trends that you see dominating, say, in the next 2-3 years?
Yes, you correctly said there are smart consumers now, because now people are reading the ingredients and now they are actually reading and they have the knowledge what exactly is going in their product or what they are actually using. And this is all the awareness, and that is why the brand switching I was saying, because to hold the consumer, you have to be fast in delivering the product. Plus, you need to give him so many offers. As he said, that 1,000 rupees ka product, his wife got it at 500. To retarget that again, you need to give offers. So these are the things to hold the consumer. Plus, how many options you're giving. If you're just sitting with a one product or two products, consumers are looking for more options. Even in similar product they are using, is there any more flavor to it or any more packaging available, sizes?
Correct.
That, I want to try this product, so is there a sample size available? So now it's, you need to give so many options to the consumer just to convert one sale.
Like they call in politics, like it's the world of freebies, right? What else can you offer to the consumer to make it crack, right?
1000 रुपए का प्रोडक्ट 500 में दे रहे, still the consumer is like, और आप क्या कम कर सकते हो? First buyer discount. So you're already giving a discount, plus they are wanting, because you know, I just want to try the product. What is the first buyer discount you're offering? So the conversion rate,
Yeah.
and I can relate, because the content creation is now that you're paying somebody to, you know, to make the conversion, to make your product understand and reach to consumers so that they can relate to the content.
Correct.
अब वो celebrity वाला नहीं रहा है, because now they think that the celeb is getting paid for
Paid
the
for it.
content, but they trust the micro influencers because they feel they are same as us, they are in the same category, the same money purchasing power they have, and then they can relate more.
Correct.
That this influencer or this consumer is similar to me.
Sure.
And that is why if you see the brands are posting now about consumer feedbacks, a video or a feedback. Earlier, I don't think so. We saw something like this.
Correct. Correct. Very well said. And actually, what she said has a lot of relevance to you, which is reading ingredients, right? She's absolutely right. Go back 15 years, 10 years. We just saw the price and that was a deciding factor, or maybe availability, if it's available at my local Kirana store or grocery store, right? But that has completely changed. So how do you see competition vis-a-vis a very competitive price point dominating in this market going forward?
So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कंपटीशन तो हमेशा ही रहने वाला है, वी कांट अवॉइड दैट, बट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द कंपटीशन and us is the what extra we are giving to the consumer. It can be a customer delight factor. हम लोग क्या देते हैं, सपोज मैं बहुत छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ, क्रिसमस आ रहा है, we started giving a very cute Santa cap with every order without telling the customer that we are giving something free. जब वो कस्टमर बॉक्स खोलता है, उसे वो कैप निकलता है, तो इट गिव्स अ डिलाइट टू द कस्टमर कि मुझे बिना बताए अगर आप कस्टमर को कुछ एक्स्ट्रा दे रहे हो तो वो कस्टमर उसको याद रखता है. सो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वॉट एल्स वी कैन गिव टू द कस्टमर, मे बी इन द कस्टमर सपोर्ट, कि हमारा कस्टमर सपोर्ट बहुत अच्छा है, जहाँ पे कस्टमर को हम लोग प्रोडक्ट की बेनिफिट, उसको कैसे बनाना है, सब कुछ प्रॉपर बताते हैं.
करेक्ट.
एंड वॉट एल्स कैन बी गिवन, जैसे हमने कम्युनिटी बनाई जहाँ पर हम लोग उनको फ्री कंसल्टेशन दे रहे हैं. तो देयर इज अ वेरियस टच पॉइंट अपार्ट फ्रॉम प्राइस, अपार्ट फ्रॉम द प्रोडक्ट, जो कस्टमर्स को हमें देना पड़ेगा इफ वी वांट टू बी रेलेवेंट, इफ वी वांट टू मेक देम लॉयल
and ensure that they come back to you as well.
So हमेशा वो प्रोडक्ट नहीं रहने वाला.
Correct.
हमने एक प्रोडक्ट टॉप नॉच बना दिया, हमने बहुत R&D की, फिर क्या?
Correct.
उसके बाद क्या? आज हम लोग फोन खरीदने जाते हैं, हम लोग एप्पल क्यों लेते हैं? क्योंकि हमें पता है उसके बाद की चीजें सब कुछ सही रहने वाली है.
Correct. It's not just creating
not
the
just the
brand,
product.
but ensuring that the customer also moves
definitely, क्योंकि सिर्फ
with you.
उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
Correct, correct. I've completely run out of time, but Riju, I will give you the final word, taking on from what we heard from our brand founders, which is how do you curate that unique customer experience from a brand perspective to ensure scalability going forward?
Yeah, I think you have to focus on the right problems at the right time of your journey. I think for payments, at least I can speak, like the kind of payment solutions you have when you are, let's say, just starting up, which could be a payment link if you're selling on Instagram on day one and just validating your idea, to, let's say, once you hit the 1 crore or 100 crore mark, it could be actually investing in, a one-click checkout solution, right? But I think it's about picking the right problem at the right time. I would say it's picking your USP. I think for us, it is about being fast. I think, it's about moving fast, which could be the fastest onboarding, keeping the checkout fast, right? So that is what it is for us. And I think it could be, let's say, I think for Apple, it is quality design. I think it is what it is, right? So yeah, I think it's picking out your USP and doubling down on it, right? That's what I think creates your brand.
Could we have a huge round of applause for our stellar panel? Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much.
taking out the time. Now that we've had a deep dive into how you can scale up with brands, how you can ensure that you can retarget your customers, how can you ensure that they come back, there's another aspect that we do want to shed a very well-deserved spotlight on. Now, as businesses continue to grow in dynamic and fast-evolving markets, understanding the key strategies for expansion is very, very important. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're going to hear from our next speaker, who in fact will share very, very invaluable insights on how businesses can really scale up their D2C businesses in, most importantly, emerging markets. So ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Adil Kadri from the House of Premium Fragrances on exactly this, which is scaling your D2C businesses in emerging markets. Thank you for taking our time. Welcome. The floor is all yours.
कंटेंट क्रिएशन और वीडियो, जिसकी वजह से इंडिया भर में या इंडिया से बाहर भी आदिल कादरी को लोग जानते हैं। खास करके आदिल कादरी को लोग अपने कंटेंट से या वीडियो की वजह से ही जानते हैं। रास्ते में भी लोग मिल जाते हैं तो उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं यूट्यूब पर, इंस्टाग्राम पर देखा होता है। तो ये मेरा बहुत मतलब ये डे टू डे एक टास्क है वीडियो क्रिएशन का, और ये अब फुल टाइम जॉब हो गया है। तो और ये मेरा फेवरेट टॉपिक है। तो ये टॉपिक पर डिस्कशन करने के लिए, ये टॉपिक पर बोलने के लिए मैंने टीम को मेल डाला था कि आप मेरा टॉपिक चेंज करो, मैं वीडियो पे बोलना चाहता हूँ, बिकॉज उसमें आई कैन प्रोवाइड वैल्यूज़। तो वीडियो क्रिएशन पे हम बात करेंगे। उससे पहले मुझे समझना है कि यहाँ पे लोग क्या क्या करते हैं। D2C परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग वाले कौन कौन है, कितने लोग करते हैं, यानी शॉपिफाई पे बिजनेस और अमेजोन, फ्लिपकार्ट वगैरह पे। सो यहाँ पर D2C अमेजोन दोनों वाले हैं। इसके अलावा जो ज़्यादातर लोग हैं, मेजोरिटी, वो क्या करते हैं, इमर्जिंग ई कॉमर्स समिट है तो ई कॉमर्स वाले लोग मैं समझता हूँ ज़्यादातर होंगे ना। शॉपिफाई वाले 2-4 हैं, अमेजोन फ्लिपकार्ट वाले 2-4 हैं, बाकी क्या करते हैं, स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं, ये समझता हूँ मैं कहीं ना कहीं। तो आदिल कादरी को अपनी जर्नी, मेरी जर्नी में वीडियो ने बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प किया है। वीडियो क्रिएशन मैंने स्टार्ट किया था 2019 लॉकडाउन से पहले। इससे पहले कैटलॉग एड्स ज़्यादा चलती थी फेसबुक पर और इमेज एड चलती थी ज़्यादातर। और हर D2C वाले का एक रोना होता है फेसबुक एड्स, गूगल एड्स को लेकर कि रोएस नहीं आता। सेम मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही था पहले। जब इमेज हम चलाते थे, जब कैटलॉग्स हम रन करते थे, रोएस नहीं आता था। मुझे मेरे एक मेंटर थे करण धर्मसी, उन्होंने पुश किया कि यार आपने अपने नाम पर ब्रांड तो बना दिया, लेकिन जब तक आप वीडियो क्रिएट नहीं करोगे, जब तक आप अपना वीडियो रन नहीं करोगे एड में या यूट्यूब पर कहीं भी, तब तक वो लेवरेज नहीं होने वाला, तब तक उसका फ़ायदा नहीं होने वाला। उन्होंने मुझे फर्स्ट टाइम वीडियो बनाने के लिए पुश किया था, क्योंकि आप देखो जो लोग कैमरे के सामने नहीं आते वो बहुत शाई फील करते, शर्म आती है उनको, यार क्या बोलेंगे, कैसे बोलेंगे, शर्म आती है, बोला नहीं जाता कोई कैमरा चालू। वैसे हम अपने दोस्तों के साथ भी मजाक मस्तियाँ करते होते हैं या बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे होते हैं, लेकिन जब कोई कैमरा स्टार्ट कर देता है, हमारा फ्रेंड भी, तो हम वो एक शाई मोड में चले जाते हैं। तो मेरे साथ भी ये था, लेकिन मेरे मेंटर ने बहुत पुश किया मुझे कि नहीं, वीडियो क्रिएट करना है। मुझे याद पड़ता है 2019 में मैंने वीडियो एक फ़ोन में ऐसे ही बैठकर चेयर पर मैंने रिकॉर्ड किया था एक प्रोडक्ट को लेकर, और उसको मैंने डाला था फेसबुक में। और उस टाइम मतलब मेरे लिए तो ये बहुत बड़ा दिन था, क्योंकि रात को मैंने ऐड स्टार्ट किया और सुबह उठ के मैंने देखा तो 30 रुपया, 30 रुपीज़ में एक कैक आ रहा है। कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन इज़ 30 रुपीज़। मतलब मेरे लिए अनबिलीवेबल था, क्योंकि जहाँ इतने दिनों तक हम लोग, हर परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग वाला, हर फेसबुक वाला ये रो रहा होता है कि यार कैसे कम बजट में, कम खर्चे में ऑर्डर्स आ जाए, वहाँ पर मेरे लिए भी प्रॉब्लम था। लेकिन सुबह उठकर जब हम शॉपिफाई का डैशबोर्ड देखते हैं तो ऐसे ग्राफ जाता है ऊपर। फेसबुक देखा तो 6-6, 7-7, 8-8 का रोएस दिख रहा था। तो उस दिन से ज़्यादा एक मोटिवेशन मिली कि अभी ये वीडियो पे काम करना चाहिए। और जैसे ही वीडियो दूसरा शूट किया, लॉकडाउन हो गया, फिर वो 6-7 महीना, साल भर रह गया। फिर जब लॉकडाउन के बाद स्टार्ट किया तो लॉकडाउन के बाद तो 10-15 रुपये में ही परचेजेस आ रहे थे, बिकॉज उस टाइम लोगों ने एड्स नहीं स्टार्ट किए थे, CPM लो था। तो मैंने ऐसा ग्रुप बनाया 40-50 लोगों को लेकर, मेरे फ्रेंड्स उसमें थे, और तभी तो कंपनी चालू थी, तो स्टाफ में भी 2-4 लोगों थे, उनको भी ऐड किया, पेरेंट्स को ऐड किया, अंकल को ऐड किया, फ्रेंड्स को ऐड किया। और उसमें मैंने मैसेज डाला कि नेक्स्ट 1 महीने 2 महीने तक मैं वीडियोस में डालूंगा और आपको फीडबैक देना है कि वीडियो आपको कैसा लग रहा है। हालांकि जो वीडियो क्रिएशन नहीं करता उनको तो वैसे ही समझ में नहीं आएगा, लेकिन ये हम बोलते हैं सामने वाले को फीडबैक देने के लिए, तो थोड़ा ईगो सेटिस्फाई होता है, सामने वाले का मज़ा आता है कि हाँ हमको पूछ लिया, तो इसलिए मैंने मैसेज डाला। बट द गोल इज़ कि रोज़ आपको सुबह में एक वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करना है उठ के, कि आज क्या शेड्यूल आप करने वाले हो, आपके क्या गोल्स है, या कुछ भी जो आपको मन चाहे, कैमरे को रखना है सेल्फी मोड में, वीडियो स्टार्ट करना है 2-5 मिनट का और उसको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में डाल देना है। अब पहले दिन एक शर्म महसूस हुई, 2-4 दिन हुए मज़ा नहीं आ रहा था, 3-4 दिन हुए, फिर 5-6 दिन, लेकिन कंसिस्टेंसी जब रही और 10-15 दिन 20 दिन जब कांस्टेंट मैंने किया, तो एक अंदर से एक फील आ रहा था कि मज़ा आ रहा है। मतलब अभी जो जो कैमरे के सामने, जो वीडियो के सामने जो एक शर्म आती थी, शाइनेस होती थी, वो चली गई। अब मज़ा आ रहा है वीडियो बनाने में। अब ये लगता है कि अब कल वीडियो बनाना है, किस टॉपिक पे बात करना है, कैसे करेंगे, वो रात से तैयारी रहती थी, इतना एक्साइटमेंट भी था। और फ़ोन के सामने देखकर भी एक बोलने को मन नहीं कर रहा था, वो अब फ्लुएंट होता गया। ये एक्टिविटी मैंने 2 महीना की है कांस्टेंट। वो रीज़न है, वही चीज़ है जिसने मुझे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस दिया वीडियो बनाने के लिए। और एक तो वीडियो में भी आज अगर आप कैमरा रख दो सामने, मैं बोल लेता हूँ कहीं भी, मुझे वीडियो बनाना, मैं शर्माता नहीं। इनफैक्ट ऐसे बहुत सारे इवेंट D2C के, परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग में के मैं हर महीने मैं करता रहता हूँ, जहाँ पे हज़ारों लोग होते हैं, लेकिन मैं खड़े रहकर बोल सकता हूँ। अभी लास्ट वीक मैं पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी में था, जहाँ पर अच्छे खासे लोग थे, 500-1000 के आसपास लोग थे उसमें, लेकिन जब मैं बोलता हूँ तब इतना कॉन्फिडेंस रहता है, आपको पता नहीं चलता, आपको शर्म नहीं महसूस होती कि आप इतने सारे लोगों के सामने बोलते हैं। रीज़न यही है कि इतने टाइम से मैं वीडियो बना रहा हूँ, उससे जो कॉन्फिडेंस आ रहा है। तो अगर आप स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं और आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि यार कैसे इंस्टाग्राम पे डालूँ, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, क्या कमेंट करेंगे, तो ये एक्टिविटी आपको करनी चाहिए। अब एक छोटी सी एक स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बात करेंगे कि वीडियो जो होता है उसका स्ट्रक्चर क्या होता है। तो इसमें 2 चीज़ें होती है, एक तो एक ऐड का वीडियो होता है जो आप फेसबुक में, गूगल में रन करते हो, एक रील होती है जो आप इंस्टाग्राम में या फेसबुक पे डालते हो। दोनों का इंटेंशन अलग होगा, दोनों का थोड़ा बहुत तरीका अलग होगा, नॉर्मली सेम ही रहता है। अगर हम ऐड की बात करें कि अगर ऐड में मुझे वीडियो डालना है, और मैंने अभी तक बहुत सारे वीडियोस, हज़ारों वीडियोस फेसबुक में डाले हैं, गूगल में डाले हैं। हर कोई वीडियोस ज़रूरी नहीं है कि अच्छा ROAS देगा या चल जाएगा, लेकिन एक मेरा ये होता है कि हाँ 8-10 वीडियो डाले हैं तो उसमें से 2 बहुत ज़्यादा परफॉर्मेंस देंगे और बहुत अच्छा ROAS देंगे। इतने सारे वीडियोस डालने के बाद कुछ चीज़ें जो मैंने सीखी, जो मेरे लिए परफॉर्म किया और बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए परफॉर्म करती है। स्टार्टिंग की हुक, यानी एक स्ट्रक्चर आता है वीडियो का, मैं पहले आपको बताऊं। एक वीडियो बनाने के लिए 4 चीज़ों की ज़रूरत होती है ऐड वीडियो बनाने के लिए, जिसको हम AIDA स्ट्रक्चर कहते हैं। सबसे पहले आता है अटेंशन, दूसरा आता है डिज़ायर, तीसरा आता है इंटरेस्ट, और आखिर में आता है कॉल टू एक्शन। AIDA में सबसे पहले जो आता है अटेंशन, जिसको आजकल, अब ये वर्ड चेंज हो गया, पहले एड एजेंसी इसको अटेंशन बोलती थी, अभी इसको हुक चेंज हो गया। आप देखोगे यूट्यूब पर तो इसको हुक बोलते हैं। हुक इज समथिंग के बंदा जब आपका वीडियो ओपन करके देखता है, या यूट्यूब में या इंस्टाग्राम पे जब वो स्वाइप करता है, तो पहले के जो 3 सेकंड होते हैं, वो 3 सेकंड में अगर आपने सामने वाले को पकड़ लिया आपकी लाइन से, उसको आप हुक बोलते हो। वो हुक जितना पावरफुल है, इतना वीडियो वायरल जाता है, चाहे वो इंस्टाग्राम हो। अगर आप ऑर्गेनिक इंस्टाग्राम पे डाल रहे हो, आपका हुक बहुत अच्छा है, उससे ऑर्गेनिक रीच वायरल होगी। अगर आपने ऐड में डाला है वो वीडियो, और अगर उसका हुक अच्छा है और वो चल गया, तो ROAS अच्छा खासा देगा। मैं आपको बताऊं, इतने साल से 7-8 साल हो गया आदिल कादरी को स्टार्ट किए, रेयरली आपने कभी देखा होगा कि हमने डिस्काउंट दिया है, बहुत रेयर। मतलब जहाँ पे दूसरी ब्रांड आप देखोगे कि हर दूसरी ऐड में कुछ ना कुछ आज ये डिस्काउंट है, आज ये ऑफर है, आज पेड ऑफर चल रहा है, आज ये त्यौहार है तो ये ऑफर चल रहा है, आज स्कूल का डे है तो कुछ भी, मतलब हम यहाँ पर D2C वाले, हमको पता है कि ऑफर से कितना अच्छा रोएस वगैरह आता है, लेकिन हमने एज आदिल कादरी CEO, हमने टीम ने कभी इतने ज़्यादा डिस्काउंट नहीं दिए। रीज़न क्या है कि वीडियो में इतना सारा वैल्यू बनता है कि कस्टमर डिस्काउंट देने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, चाहे महंगा प्रोडक्ट भी है वो उठा लेगा, तो स्टोरी अगर आपकी अच्छी है तो। मैं सब लोगों को सजेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि जितने भी लोग स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं या स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं बिजनेस और वीडियो पे नहीं आए हैं, अभी आप स्टार्ट करो। टुडे इज़ द बेस्ट टाइम। आज जो रीच इंस्टाग्राम और यूट्यूब शॉर्ट्स दे रहे हैं वो उससे पहले कभी हमें नहीं मिले, मैंने कभी नहीं देखे आज जो व्यूज़ आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि भाई जो हम लाखों करोड़ों रुपया फेसबुक गूगल को दे रहे हैं परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग में व्यूज़ लाने के लिए या ट्रैफिक लाने के लिए, वो आज इंस्टाग्राम के पेज से इतने व्यूज़ जो मैं देख रहा हूँ, मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा खुशी हो रही है। तो अगर आप कोई बिजनेस चला रहे हैं, स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं रोएस के लिए, तो कंटेंट इज द बेस्ट आइडिया।
Now we're moving to a very, very interesting part of this evening, something that I promised each one of you when we started this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to see a very, very special workshop. And this workshop will not only showcase the best practices for creating an optimized D2C checkout experience, but it will also give you a lot of insight on how you can really do that. So ladies and gentlemen, with a huge round of applause, do join me in welcoming Mr. Praveen Gadodia from Cash Free Payments to join us on stage for a very, very, I'm being told, interactive and insightful workshop. Could we have a huge round of applause as we welcome him on stage, please?
What are the things and scientific ways or playbook that you can use for you to help grow your business is what we are going to talk about here. So as the topic suggests, we are talking about fixing the funnel, right? हम लोग बहुत पैसा खर्च करते हैं, the brands, the founders, to bring a customer to your website, onto your app, right? But we feel a lot when there is a lot of drop that happens after someone coming to your website or app. So we will talk about how do you create a conversion-focused shopping experience through the certain steps that you can take and ensure, which will help you to increase the conversion, right? So as Cashfree, हम लोगों ने काफ़ी brands के साथ हम लोग अभी काम करते हैं, and we did one survey of talking to about 1,000 D2C consumers, right? जो shopping करते हैं D2C websites and apps के through, and 86% of the people have dropped off from the shopping cart when they are on the checkout experience for some of the given reasons, right? सबसे बड़ा reason being that distraction. I think one of the panelists did speak about distraction being one of the major reason for people getting dropped off from the shopping journey, right? उसके बाद hidden cost and fees, right? Shipping cost हो गया या फिर कुछ भी additional cost है जो हम लोग एक्सपोज करते हैं कस्टमर को ड्यूरिंग द जर्नी, प्री चेकआउट, पोस्ट चेकआउट, ड्यूरिंग द चेकआउट, राइट? वो वाला एक रीज़न होता है जहाँ पे लोग ड्रॉप ऑफ करते हैं. सो दीज आर द रीजंस यू कैन सी ऑन द स्क्रीन विच kind of contributes a lot to the drop-offs, and we are going to talk about each one of them, how and what are the ways for you to kind of fix it, right? So before getting into the specifics of the solutions, right, what we wanted to speak about here is as well the benchmarking, right? Aapka Amazon and Flipkarts of the world are the biggest like marketplaces or e-commerce website, right? जहाँ पे लाखों करोड़ों लोग आके transact कर रहे हैं, and for them to optimize the checkout at scale is what they have done very well, and that's the number that reflects here. So 28 seconds on an average एक यूज़र को लगता है जब वो Amazon या Flipkart पे चेकआउट करता है, and conversion rate जब हम बात करते हैं from the order creation to like completing the payment, it's about 3 to 5%. But when we talk about the D2C brands या फिर जो हम native websites बनाते हैं, Shopify पे websites बनाते हैं, it usually takes about 92 to 100 seconds to complete the checkout, right? And the conversion is kind of reflected because कितना time लग रहा है उससे conversion भी reflect होता है. तो आप देखेंगे 2 to 3% on average is what we see on a reasonable website today on the D2C side, which is almost the half of what the other companies like the likes of Flipkart and Amazon have been able to pull off. उसमें से 50% reasons why like what we have seen and observed is that हम लोग बहुत सारे inputs पूछते हैं. Like when you are building a website and a customer is coming onto your website and app, we ask them a lot of information. If you can reduce those pieces of information from 16 to 6 touch points, right? We have observed that there is a 50% drop in the cart abandonment rate. The second input is on the payments, right? जहाँ पे अगर payment fail हो जाता है customer का, जब जो कि last touch point है of the entire journey of the checkout, and if someone drops off because of the payment failure, usually 33% of the users कभी वापस नहीं आते हैं onto your brand, and that's a big loss, right? आपने इतना like you spend so much effort and money to bring them on board, and then you lose them at the last step. So these are the crucial things, and this is what we are going to talk about how we can solve it. So coming to the agenda, right? So quickly moving on, what matters, right? Speed, कितना जल्दी आप customer को checkout journey में आप right from them selecting the product to completing and making the payment, how soon you can move them, the effort, how you can minimize the effort for them, how you can build the trust, right? Like people spoke about, there is so much competition. D2C has become a thing wherein a lot of people are coming online, right? And the enablers sitting in the room are helping the small brands as well to go online. So trust establishment from the end customer standpoint is also one of the key factors which impacts the conversion. Discounts, of course, like discounts are expensive, offers are expensive, but using them in right way and effectively is what matters a lot. Another thing, of course, is payments, payment failures we will talk about. And last thing is RTO prevention, right? RTO prevention is return to origin. This is more towards COD as a payment mode. And वहाँ पे जितना returns हम लोग देखते हैं as brands, it's very costly. And how we can prevent the RTO is what we'll talk about. So making the checkout experience fast, how you can do it, right? So whenever जब customer is coming on to your website, हम लोग मतलब usually brands prefer कि हम उस customer को पहचाने. We should be knowing the customer who he is, because you would want them to target them again and come back again. But बहुत लोग 26% users drop कर जाते हैं क्योंकि हम उनको login जो sign up करने का बोलते हैं उस journey पे drop करते हैं, उस touch point पे. How you can simplify the guest checkout experience matters a lot, right? And using the nudge to in fact help them sign up. OTP login करा लीजिए, email ID या फिर मतलब 2-3 चीज़ें पूछ के वो step को cumbersome नहीं बना के कितना हम simplify कर सकते हैं should be the focus. And also you can incentivize, right? आप बता सकते हैं कि आप sign up करेंगे तो you can give them some offer, right? Because this piece of information is very important for the brand perspective. Second is the saved information of the users, right? I think Riju briefly touched upon the saved addresses, the preferred payment modes. These are very critical. अगर कोई user है वो नहीं चाहता कि मैं बार बार जाके सब जगह address अपना add करूँ या फिर अपना preferred payment बताऊँ. And if you have the capability of predicting that upfront and filling it upfront for the user, it's a great experience, right? So this is an example of one of the brands we have been working with clinically. We solved the funnel leakage for them using these practices which I just spoke about. वहाँ पे they had a problem of prepaid wallet share being low. COD ज़्यादा था. COD के अपने nuances हैं कि वो क्यों मतलब there are a lot of returns that happens there. It's expensive. आपका capital realizations भी late होता है. So usually आप prefer करते हो कि prepaid wallet share बढ़े, right? और उनका तो हमने मतलब OTP login and address prefill से so we have about 100 million plus saved addresses which can help customer like predict or like know their address and they don't have to fill it manually. So we, in fact, the impact that we got was around 4% increment in the prepaid orders, and the order to like the final abandonment improvement was about 10%. Next bit is ensuring a low touch point checkout. It's more about like I just briefly mentioned earlier, आप इनपुट फील्ड्स कैसे आप कम कर सकते हो, हाउ मच यू कैन रिड्यूस द फ्रिक्शन फॉर द कस्टमर एंड नॉट आस्किंग टू मैनी थिंग्स. एग्जाम्पल लाइक जब आप एड्रेस फिल इन करवा रहे हो तो पिन कोड यूज़ करके आप सब कुछ प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हो. यू डोंट हैव टू आस्क सिटी बताओ, स्टेट बताओ, कंट्री बताओ. These are the irrelevant things. So small things, scientific things which kind of improves the conversion. These are the things which can help you do. Google Maps का भी आप integration कर सकते हो to pinpoint the address, which also helps in reducing the returns eventually, right? Then the second bit is identification. जब दूसरी बार भी customer आता है, login कर रहा है, not sign up, तो login करने के time भी आप मतलब you can provide SSOs like sign-ons, right? So using Google, Truecaller or other methods to make it very easy for you to identify कि ये customer कौन है. Yes, I think that's about it on the Gyan. This is more about like how Cashfree kind of enables all this out of the box. One thing जो मैं highlight करना चाहूँगा कि ये सारी चीज़ें जो मैंने बताई, I think it's not just that Amazon और Flipkart ही ये सब चीज़ें कर सकता है. There are smaller brands which can effectively implement this because अब बहुत सारे plug and play systems are available in the market and we also offer this as Cashfree. We understand क्योंकि हम लोग payments, we have been a payments company, but everything what I spoke about is in and around payments, right? Pre-checkout workflow and post-checkout workflow. So we have a product called One Click Checkout. It's a seamless D2C checkout experience which caters to the speed by providing the iframe and the seamless experience. Also the saved address and the RTO bit and the multi-PG routing which I spoke about. And a lot of brands use Shopify. So we also have a Shopify plugin for the faster Shopify checkout experience, which offers the same set of things and the features that I spoke about, but are available on the Shopify and the other plugin like WordPress, WooCommerce, and जहाँ भी आप enable करना चाहे, even if it is a native website, जहाँ पे आप खुद custom development करवा रहे हैं for a brand, all these things can be enabled, right? So it's not a very rocket science आज की तारीख में for you to enable this on your website or app, and I think आगे जाके ये hygiene बन जाएगा, and this is what will keep your brand ahead of others and help you win this story. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Cash Free Payments and Money Control present Emerging Commerce Summit.